Welcome everyone to this month's wellness webinar on digital detox. We live in such a time of unprecedented connectivity, right, where technology is woven into every aspect of our lives. However, as we know, too much of a good thing can cause stress, can cause anxiety, distraction. So today we're going to be discussing how to reclaim balance by managing our tech use effectively. So just think about the last time your phone wasn't nearby. For many of us, it's rare. I mean, right now I'm looking at my phone sitting right next to me on the desk. So our phones have become our companions, right? They're used not just for communication, but we use them for entertainment, for work, even for emotional comfort. It's easy to overlook the fact that this constant connection may take a toll on us. So just consider this. 25% of smartphone owners aged 18 to 44 cannot recall the last time their phone wasn't next to them. So this statistic highlights just how much we rely on technology. However, this reliance has real world implications. So nearly all of the drivers surveyed by AAA in 2022 believe texting or emailing while driving is very or extremely dangerous. Yet, 37% of those admitted that in the month prior, they had read a text or an email while driving, and another 27% had typed one behind the wheel. Another statistic, so even more, the average American spends 4 hours and 37 minutes per day staring at their phone screen. Over time, that adds up to about 1 day a week, 6 days every month, and 70 days a year. So if the average American nowadays gets a phone at 12 years old and lives until 76, the average life expectancy, that means that they'd spend more than 4,466 days on their phone, which is 12 years. I don't know about you, but this statistic upsets me. So these numbers raise an important question. What impact does this constant connection have on our well-being? So looking at this impact, first we're starting off with digital overload. This occurs when the brain is bombarded with more information and stimuli than it can handle, leading to mental exhaustion. This can happen not only when you're online, but also while you're watching TV or playing video games. There are a few key habits that contribute to digital overload, including spending too much time on devices, consuming excessive information as the internet provides an overwhelming amount of content, which is available 24/7 from never-ending sources. So your brain needs time to rest and recover from the nonstop flow of information, but continuous consumption prevents this. Media multitasking. This is using more than one device at a time, such as scrolling through social media while watching TV. This can definitely overwhelm your brain. And over time, these behaviors can affect both our personal and our professional lives. So how does this actually happen on a deeper level? We're going to be exploring the science behind these impacts in more detail. So research consistently supports the connection between excessive screen time and a range of mental health challenges. A key factor in the disruption of sleep patterns, screens. So especially at night, expose us to blue light, which suppresses the production of melatonin, which is that hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle. Now, when melatonin production is delayed, it becomes harder to fall asleep, and the quality of sleep is diminished. This often results in long-term sleep disturbances like insomnia and has broader impacts on our emotional and cognitive well-being. Additionally, sleep deprivation is closely linked to issues such as mood instability, reduced cognitive function, and decreased emotional resilience. So without adequate sleep, we become more prone to stress and less capable of managing daily pressures, which can exacerbate those feelings of anxiety and depression. Beyond sleep, the constant use of social media and news platforms contributes to mental hyperarousal, so that state where our brains are always on high alert. This can cause anxiety as we're exposed to an endless stream of information, notifications, and stimuli. Additionally, the highly curated, idealized content on social media platforms can also prompt unhealthy comparisons, leading many people to feel inadequate or overwhelmed. On top of this, the fast-paced nature of digital content encourages multitasking, which impairs our ability to focus on a single task for long periods. Constant multitasking fragments our attention and reduces productivity, contributing to feelings of stress and mental fatigue. Over time, this contributes to cognitive overload and can lead to burnout. And lastly, this overstimulation doesn't give our brains the rest and recovery time that they need to function optimally, creating a cycle of mental strain and ultimately harming our well-being. So while technology is a valuable tool, balance is essential. Our goal isn't to demonize technology, but to highlight the importance of managing our digital interactions so that they don't interfere with our mental and emotional health. And we can try thinking of this like a balanced diet. Too much of anything can be harmful, even if it's something that provides benefits in moderation. So finding ways to disconnect from screens, even for short periods, allows our brains to rest and our bodies to recover. So for instance, taking breaks from screens can greatly improve focus. As we said, constant notifications, digital distract us, can overwhelm us and reduce our attention span. So reducing screen time, especially before bed, improves sleep quality by allowing our natural sleep cycles to reset and function properly. Mentally and emotionally, balance helps reduce anxiety and stress, creating a more peaceful state of mind. Another crucial aspect of digital balance is how it enhances our relationships. So when we disconnect from devices, we create space for meaningful, in-person interactions and can fully engage with those around us, whether it's spending tech-free time with family or focusing on offline hobbies. These moments strengthen our social connections and improve overall life satisfaction. But achieving digital balance isn't about completely giving up technology, but about using it in a way that supports, not detracts from, our health and happiness. So, how much is too much if we're talking screen time? Experts recommend less than 2 hours of screen time per day for most children under 18. For children under age 5, pediatricians recommend even less screen time. Generally, adults should aim for less than 2 hours of screen time a day outside of work to avoid the problems that we've discussed that are associated with spending too much time online. However, it's also important to recognize that occasionally exceeding these guidelines is understandable. Maybe you're at home sick on the couch, right? Finding a balance that aligns with your individual lifestyle is key. And how do you know if it's time for a digital detox? So recognizing the need for digital detox can be challenging, especially since technology has become such an integral part of daily life. However, there are key signs that indicate your relationship with screens may be negatively impacting your well-being. So a common indicator is feeling anxious or irritable when you're away from your phone or unable to check it. This feeling, often referred to as nomophobia, which is the fear of being without your mobile phone, suggests an unhealthy dependence on technology for emotional comfort. You might feel a compulsion to check your phone constantly, even when there are no new notifications, which reflects an increasing reliance on that digital validation or stimulation to feel at ease. Another sign is engaging in mindless scrolling. I think many of us are guilty of this, where you lose track of time while sifting through social media feeds, news apps, other online content. This behavior often happens without a specific purpose, and you may find yourself refreshing the same content repeatedly, looking for something new, just contributing to a sense of aimlessness or wasted time. This kind of habitual scrolling can increase stress and make it harder to disconnect from the digital world. Additionally, if you notice that screen time is replacing meaningful real-life interactions, it's a strong signal that a digital detox may be beneficial. So for example, if you find yourself choosing to scroll through your phone during social gatherings, meals, or even one-on-one conversations, you may be prioritizing virtual connections over face-to-face relationships. This can often lead to feelings of isolation or weakened personal connections, which are essential for our emotional well-being. Other signs to watch for include difficulty focusing or staying present without constant digital input. So if you catch yourself needing background noise from a device, or if you feel bored or restless without a screen in front of you, these behaviors may suggest a growing reliance on digital stimulation to maintain focus or escape from boredom. Being aware of these signs can help you take the first step towards reassessing your digital habits and making healthier, more intentional choices regarding your screen use. So with that, I will be passing the rest of this presentation off to Lexi, who's going to be discussing strategies to digitally detox.
Awesome. Thank you, Emma. So we're going to start off talking about strategies to digitally detox. The first one is setting boundaries. It is one of the simplest yet most impactful ways to reduce digital overload and reclaim control over your digital use. You know, as it is, we're not trying to completely take away our phones or our devices from us. It's all about that balance. So start by designating maybe specific times or spaces where devices are off limits. For example, making mealtime a tech-free zone helps you focus on the present, connect with those around you, and truly enjoy your food without distractions. Or if you want to set a rule to avoid screens for at least an hour before bedtime, this allows your brain to wind down and will improve your sleep quality. When it comes to setting boundaries at work, technology has made it incredibly easy to blur the lines between work and personal life. We often feel pressure to stay connected to work 24/7, answering emails or responding to messages after hours. However, this constant connectivity can lead to burnout and make it difficult to mentally switch off from work, even during your personal time. So to protect that work-life balance or work-life integration, it's important to set firm boundaries around when you engage with work-related tasks. For instance, silencing work notifications after your designated work hours helps you truly disconnect and enjoy your free time, free from the stress of professional responsibilities. You can even set up automated do not disturb or out of the office modes to limit interruptions and reinforce your boundaries. So not only does this practice reduce stress, but it also enhances your ability to fully recharge during your off hours, making you more productive and focused when you return to work. The next strategy is managing your screen time. As Emma said earlier, many of us underestimate just how much time we spend on our devices. So in reality, the global average is 6 hours and 40 minutes. That was a 2-minute drop from last year. Not a very big drop, but still 6 hours and 40 minutes. Screen time apps like Apple's Screen Time or Android has a digital wellness or well-being can provide valuable insights into your daily use. It can tell you what apps you use most often, how often you are on those particular apps. And so these tools not only show you how much time you spend on these certain apps, but allows you to set limits. So example, you could cap social media use at 30 minutes per day. And by doing so, you'll likely find that you have more free time to engage in offline activities, and the awareness itself can lead to healthier habits. So in addition to tracking time, it's essential to give your eyes regular breaks. So if you're sitting at a screen for extended periods, take breaks every 3 to 4 hours. Or you could do the 20-20-20 method. It's, work on a task for 20 minutes, take a 20-second break, and then go back for 20 more minutes. And those prolonged focus on a screen can strain your eyes. And as Emma has said, it's been linked to sleep problems, particularly the ability to shift between near and distant objects. This strain can lead to discomfort, headaches, eye fatigue, and again, those sleep problems. But taking these brief breaks to focus on distant objects or simply stepping away from your screen helps to alleviate these symptoms and maintains your health. Also, taking screen breaks gives you a chance to get up, move around, stretch, cross something off your to-do list, and readjust your posture. Breaks can additionally help you mentally refocus before returning to the task you were working on. So if you're working on a task that's taken up a long period of your time, take a break and then you'll come back with a fresh refocus to tackle that task. So by combining both time tracking and intentional breaks, you can significantly reduce the negative effects of that excessive screen time. Another strategy is technology has been that integral part of our lives that many of us use it out of habit, often without a clear purpose. So by practicing mindful technology use means being intentional with our devices rather than that mindless scrolling or checking apps. So using technology mindfully is especially important because some individuals may rely on it as a way to hide or mask underlying feelings or issues. And by really recognizing this tendency, we can better address our motivations for tech use and ensure that it serves us positive manner. So one of the easiest ways to practice this or to begin to practice this is to pause each time you pick up your phone and ask yourself, why am I using this right now? Is it a productive use of my time? So if the answer is no, put the phone down. The goal is to shift from using technology out of boredom or impulse to using it with purpose, using it more as a tool, whether it's checking an email, navigating to a location, or reading a meaningful article. Being aware of your tech usage helps you focus on what truly matters. And mindful technology use can also reduce that mental clutter that often accompanies digital overload. So when you cut down on unnecessary screen time, you free up more mental space for those offline activities, reduce stress, and make your time with technology more rewarding and less overwhelming. Now, simplifying your devices. So elder millennials and some of the boomer generation might get a chuckle out of this slide, but between notifications, app alerts, and the ease of accessing social media or email, it's difficult to stay focused on the present. One strategy to combat this digital overload is to downgrade to a simpler phone that doesn't support apps, like a basic flip phone. While this may seem like a drastic step, it can be an effective way to regain control over your screen time. And with a basic phone, those that are an elder millennial like myself or a boomer, a basic phone can still handle those essential functions like making phone calls, sending texts, but you're freed from the persistent temptation to check your device for unnecessary updates. And this creates more space for those meaningful real world interactions and encourages greater presence in daily activities. And studies suggest that reducing reliance on our digital device can increase that mindfulness, lower stress, and improve our overall well being. So even if you don't fully downgrade, you can still take steps to simplify your smartphone, such as uninstalling non-essential apps or disabling certain features to create a more intentional and focused digital experience. The goal is to find balance that works for your lifestyle and helps you feel more in control of your digital habits. Now, this is a big one. It's one of the main culprits behind digital fatigue is that continuous flood of notifications we receive from our device. Every alert, whether it's a sound or visual pop-up, demands our attention, causing us to lose focus and fragment our time between tasks. And this constant interruption not only affects our ability to concentrate, but also contributes to increased levels of stress and reduced overall productivity. So turning off non-essential notifications is a simple yet effective way to regain control over your digital environment. And for most of us, notifications from social media, news apps, or marketing emails aren't urgent and don't require immediate attention. So, by disabling these alerts, you'll find you can better focus on important tasks and reduce that mental load that comes from being constantly that quote unquote on call. And smartphones, as kind of said in the last few slides ago, they have that feature that do not disturb mode, so you can silence all but essential notifications during specific periods, such as working, exercising, spending time with loved ones, maybe dinner, or hanging out with your friends. So this ensures you can be fully present in the moment without that anxiety of being interrupted. And importantly, disabling those non-critical alerts doesn't mean cutting yourself off from important information. It simply allows you to engage with your devices more intentionally, choosing when and how to check your updates. So this practice can lead to a sense of empowerment as you'll no longer feel at the mercy of your phone. You'll notice improved concentration, reduced stress, and more time to dedicate to the things that matter most to you in your day. And another added bonus to this is boost in productivity. When you're not constantly reacting to pings or vibrations, you can stay in the flow state longer, allowing for deeper focus on tasks. And then the last one is sticking with your digital detox. So, starting a digital detox can seem overwhelming, especially when technology plays such a large role in our lives. The key to success is to start small and stay consistent. Begin by setting those realistic, manageable goals, such as limiting screen time by 30 minutes each day or designating one evening per week as a completely tech free. So these small steps are much more sustainable than attempting to overhaul your entire routine at once. Another helpful strategy is to involve others in your detox journey. So share your goals with your friends, family, coworkers, and ask them to hold you accountable. You might even consider doing a group digital detox challenge. And having that support system makes it easier to stay on track and provides a sense of camaraderie. The most important part of this entire digital detox is consistency. Over time, small changes will become habits. And as you start to notice the positive effects like less stress, better sleep, and more meaningful interactions, you'll be motivated to maintain these healthy habits. And remember, progress is gradual, and the goal is to find a balance that works for you and your lifestyle. So, a question I have for you all, and you can even answer in the chat that we have here, or in that Q&A, is what's one small change that you can make today to create more digital balance in your life? And if you are looking for more resources on this topic, we first have the Mayo Clinic to learn more about child screen time guidelines. There's that QR code right there. You can also check out an entire website that's dedicated to digital detox, learning, and resources to enhance your digital well-being. And then we have three additional ones on the right side of the slide. You can find out if you're addicted to your smartphone. You can find a local park, right? We have nature, a very natural resource to us. And then you can discover any type of fitness classes that are near you as well. So I know this is on the internet, but again, it's asking yourself, what is the purpose? Like, why am I using my phone? And this is a great resource to use your phone. Somebody said stepping away from the phone for a while every day is a great tip. Yes, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. So I want to thank everybody for attending today's presentation. Our next webinar is going to be about embracing the seasons and thriving despite seasonal affective disorder. It will be on October 30th from 12 to 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. I will stay on here if anybody has any questions. I see someone posted, they put their phone in silent mode. Great suggestion. So if you have more, feel free to add things, tips and tricks that work for you. Share with your community, right? But if you do have any additional questions, I will stay on for a little bit longer. Have a great day, everybody.